I've been doing a lot of mounting, and overall I've been really pleased with the results. But after mounting at least 15 or so, I wanted to share with you what techniques I've decided to use. So I'm going to mount this little Easter chick here, and I'm going to use the Stazon Ink. And what I've decided to do is to stamp the stamp on the actual cling mount material, and then trim it out. So it kind of looks like, in a similar way to this little rubber stamp that I have that has this very lightweight clear plastic on it. And I think that this also acts as, you know, as a cleaning device. But what happens is you can see the image, so you have a reference, and that's what I really like about this technique. But instead of going out and finding this plastic, which I know you can find, and I did watch a video where someone does this, and I think that it was definitely a useful video to watch for me, I've decided to just stamp right on the cling, and it seems to be working fine for me right now, so hopefully that will continue to be the case. So I'm using Stazon because it's a permanent ink, and I apologize for my fingers. Like I said, I've been mounting for a while, so between the ink and the trimming and the sticky stuff, it just gets on your fingers, so just be prepared for that. If you got a really nice manicure or need gloves, then do that. So I've put the Stazon down. I'm using a Sharpie, and I've used this Copic multi-liner, which I decided just wasn't worth it for this. I don't want to use that pen up, but it's perfect if that's all you have. You can use a Sharpie, and the Sharpie, because this is a broad nib Sharpie, draws around the red rubber, and that's not a huge problem for me. But I do have this fine point marker, so that's the one I'm going to use for my demonstration. So I'm just tracing around the red rubber outline. That's before I pick it up, and that is going to be my cut line. So I'm tracing around, put the lid back on, peel them up carefully. Now this doesn't have to be, and I'm cleaning off this Stazon ink as quickly as I can. And I'm using a Stazon cleaner to do that. I've determined about my new hot knife, which I think is fine. This little temperature dial definitely matters, but this part right here, this close to the end, is kind of a pain in the butt because it's heavy. So you've got to figure out how to manipulate this and the knife without it falling off onto the floor, which kind of moves around. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn my light back on because it helps me. The sun's going down on the other side of my room now. So this Stazon is dry. It dries pretty quickly. And if you hold your knife like a pen, and I'm on a self-healing mat, and I can see where I've cut here, and it's probably because the knife is hot. I think if the knife wasn't hot, then it probably wouldn't leave marks, but this is a work surface. That's what it's designed for, so no drama there for me. So I'm just drawing the blade, I'm holding it straight, not at an angle, and I'm just drawing it through. And you can see that it's cutting the easy mount, the cushion of it, very easily. So I'm going to go this side next, and I'm just following my Sharpie line and moving that away. I'm not working in very big pieces. If you don't have a surface like a self-healing mat, or you're concerned about it, you can use cardboard. So I'll show you that too. You're going to go into the cardboard here, Okay. And just, I think that you want to remember to let the knife do the work. Don't have to go very fast. And around this bend. Again, try to hold the knife straight up and down. Some people said that if you cut closer to this end where it's hottest, it works better, but it seems to be fine for me either way. I have this little stand, so I've been putting it in the stand. It also, you'll see a little bit of smoke. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but if you do, that's okay. So we've cut him out. And so what I've been doing next is throwing away all my scraps right away. No reason to keep those. These bigger pieces I can probably mount smaller stamps with, so I've been hanging on to those. So I flip this over, and once you peel this, it's super sticky. So you can do a couple of different things. You can either you know, put one edge down and peel across, or you can peel up the whole thing, whatever you prefer. So there's the front and there's the back. Now there's a edge here that would be sticky because that's released the adhesive. So what I've been doing is going in and cleaning that up. There's a few ways you can do this. I watched one video where a person they go along like this, using the red rubber as a guide. That seemed to work for me. This is really sticky, so I'm gonna keep that little piece of paper there. But it tends to go at an angle, and everybody said to do the best you could to make sure that they're straight up and down. So that's where I found that I think the easiest way for me, instead of holding it in my hand, which is what I was initially doing, is to just take and again trim across, trying to hold straight up and down, and using the red rubber as a guide. You know, I'm still going in a bit, but all the ones that I tested and stamped with, I haven't had any issue. So just do the best you can. You know, you don't want to cut away any of your stamp, obviously, your stamped image. In the hottest setting, if you really work at it, this will cut through the red rubber as well as the mount. So just be aware of that. And this little sort of around the curve here. Just cleaning that up. So that kind of takes away from the outline that you drew. So it gives you an idea there. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with that. Gonna mount him onto the stamp. It feels perfectly secure. No falling off or anything. So I don't think that this Stazon has impacted that that for me. Hopefully it won't disintegrate it or anything. I don't know. Alright. Inexpensive note cards here. And let's use, I'm going to use this Ginny Bolin brown sugar ink just as a change of pace here. And I'm just inking it up like normal. Looks like I got a little bit of ink on the rubber part, and that's where you could trim this closer if you really wanted to. And up and down. How terrific is that, huh? So that's how I have learned to use the hot knife and the Elzybells unmounted red rubber stamps and this easy mount material. That's how I've learned to use my hot knife. And it is very hot. So definitely take precautions around your children or your pets, and don't leave it unattended and hot. Thanks again.